Welcome back to From A Schizo. I'm JC, your Catholic Schizo Affective host. Let's talk about why I'm doing this, and also about my medications. As I stated in the first episode, I'm a Catholic, and firstly, I'd like this show to be a chance for evangelization and a discussion space for the Catholic faith. I plan to talk about Catholicism regularly, and can hopefully promote devotions, especially to the Most Holy Rosary and the Immaculate Virgin Mary. I am totally consecrated to Jesus through Mary, and will share more about St. Louis Marie de Montfort's total consecration in the future. Other than discussion and promotion of the faith, I wanted the show to be a place where I share my experiences as a schizoaffective, as well as comment on various mental health issues, with a focus on schizoaffective disorder and schizophrenia. I'll share how Catholicism helps me cope as a schizoaffective, but I'll also discuss various historical views on schizophrenia and possibly talk about famous schizos throughout the ages. I'll also chat about my book, InterWhistle, during these shows. It's a Catholic science fiction novel that found its genesis around the time my schizoaffectiveness started to exhibit its symptoms at the end of 2012. In it, I plan to feature a schizo. More on that later. I ended the last episode with a teaser about the schizophrenic audio hallucinations I hear on a daily basis. These started in the spring of 2013, and I had no reference for them as they were so foreign to me. I knew my own internal voice, and these new voices were like someone else speaking in my head. I'll share more about these voices in a future episode dedicated to them specifically. The audio hallucinations are the most pronounced aspect of my own disorder. These are called positive symptoms, not in that they are good, but in that they add something rather than subtract. And that brings me to the point that I'm making these shows for people who know a bit about mental health, and also those who know very little. I had no idea what a positive symptom was before I quote-unquote became schizoaffective and started to learn about my affliction. I hope to inform those who listen in whatever way I can about mental health in general, and more specifically, schizoaffective disorder and schizophrenia, but I'm no expert, just an experiencer. Now on to medications. My first mental health medication was Wellbutrin, also known as the anti-smoking aid Zyban, when I was 17. It was for depression and ADHD, and I took it for about 6 to 9 months. I don't remember much about it, or it being particularly effective for my depression or ADHD. I didn't take any other mental health medication until about 2015, 2 years after the onset of me being schizoaffective. I'll go into the history of my mental health diagnosis and their progression in another episode. I'll try and stick with medications and what they did or are doing. I don't have detailed prescriptions. It's all from memory, basically until the present. So in 2015, I decided to go ahead and try going on medication, and started with risperidone, which is known as Risperidol. I only took it for a week or less, as I remember, as it was too sedating. I also took clonazepam for anxiety, I think 1 milligram. It didn't help, and I was slowly given a higher dosage until I switched to lorazepam, which I now still use. As far as treating me being schizoaffective, after the risperidol didn't work, I was given Geodone, and took it for a month or so, but stopped it because of the akathisia from it. I was then given quetiapine, which is known as Seroquel. This medication was sedating at first, but I got used to it, and it helped lessen the audio hallucinations. After about 6 months, I was taking about 300 milligrams a day of Seroquel when I tried to get on Abilify at 10 milligrams. It unfortunately caused me to frequently, like every hour or less, urinate, which is called diuresis. I had wanted to get off the Seroquel because of its respiratory depression effects and constant head buzz it gave me. But since it was effective, I went back on it and moved up to 500 milligrams, I think. In 2016, I was able to get a medical cannabis card for my PTSD, and that's when things changed. Since it's been about 5 minutes, I'll continue with the rest next time and talk about medical cannabis. And in case you are dying to know, at the moment I'm on 60 milligrams of Latuda and 2 milligrams of lorazepam a day, along with about half a gram of cannabis as well. All my social medias are From A Schizo, and you can go to FromASchizo.com Twitter, From A Schizo, Instagram, From A Schizo, Twitch, From A Schizo, TikTok, From A Schizo, Facebook, first name, From A, last name, Schizo. If you want to support me, you can at patreon.com/FromASchizo. Be sure to check out my book, InterWhistle, youtube.com/InterWhistle, or on Twitter at InterWhistle, INTERWHISTLE. Thank you for your time. I'll be back soon. Pray the Rosary, and praise be to the Most Holy Trinity.